Good morning, you guys, and welcome to my complete guide to Genie Plus vlog. Wanted to do it vlog style so you can see in the moment how it looks and feels and take you guys along to answer your most needed and most requested questions about Genie Plus. So stick around for it. If you are new, hi, my name's Ashley. I love sharing tips, tricks, and hacks for taking a toddler to Disney, traveling with a baby, as well as our Disney vlog adventures along the way. So if you haven't already, click the red subscribe button and the thumbs up button if you learned something new and you're really needing this video. Go ahead and do that, and let's get into it. First question is, where can you buy Genie Plus? Well, you do that in the My Disney Experience app. I'm going to put my phone screen up here so you can see what I'm looking at. So as you're scrolling down that first page, you can find the Genie Plus, usually purchase for today, or you can go over and you can click the three little lines or the hamburger icon, and you can go over and click on or tap the My Disney Genie Day, and it will pull up there. So I have my day, or you can go over to Tipboard, and that's where you will click on the top, purchase Genie for today. So we're going to scroll down, tap continue, and then once that all loads, we're going to select our party. And so it has a question here of who else is going with me. I'm traveling with my family of 8, but my youngest daughter doesn't need Genie Plus, so caveat question here, if your child is under 3 and they don't need a ticket, they don't need Genie Plus, but they still can go through the lightning lane with you as long as there's not a height requirement for the attraction. So I'm going to tap confirm party, and it'll tell me my total here at the top, and I've got all 7 of us right there, and then it will pull up the card on file, and so we're going to go in and pay for that. If you use Apple Pay, or you can use a Disney gift card, you can use your credit card, your debit card, lots of options for paying for Genie Plus, so don't have to worry about that. And then it'll bring up your order confirmation, your guests, your total, what you paid, and everything, and then view my visit. Next question is, when can I buy Genie Plus? So you can buy Genie Plus starting at midnight, 12 a.m. the day you intend to purchase it. You now have to purchase it day by day. You cannot purchase it all in advance like previously. Now you just have to buy it each morning that you want it, which is great because I don't use it every morning. So that works great for me. For some people, they use it every day, every park, whatever. So that may be a little bit more of a hassle, but you can do it at midnight, but I have not seen it sell out. So obviously that can happen in the future. Somebody who is probably going to come back and be like, it's sold out on me. But for us, I just set a 6:45 alarm, and I will get up, go ahead, do what you just saw, purchase Genie Plus. That way I'm ready for that booking window to open up at 7 a.m. And so that way I am ready to go. And the next question is, what's included with Genie Plus? Okay, so I'm going to pop a link up because there are a lot of rides and it's changing so frequently that I don't want to post it here in the video and give you false information. So I will have a link to that for each of the parks. You can go over and read the most up-to-date information on exactly what's included. Right now, it's a lot, like a lot, like the TikTok. A lot. It's really a lot, but you can click that and check it out. It only is not including 4 of the larger rides. So at Magic Kingdom, it does not include Mine Train. Over at Animal Kingdom, it doesn't include Flight of Passage. Epcot, it does not include Guardians of the Galaxy, but there is a virtual queue currently for that. It could be taken away at any time, but right now when I'm filming this, there is a virtual queue, and so you can do that instead. And then there's over at Hollywood Studios, it does not include Rise of the Resistance. So if those are 4 rides you're going to want to do, you'll either want to rope drop them or buy the individual lightning lanes, so you can purchase those and purchase a time slot for those. And the next thing that I like to do that really helps is if you will tap over on the My Day, you can scroll until you hit the Start Here to plan your day. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to scroll through this list here of the attractions available at Magic Kingdom so that I can pick my top 2. That way it's pinned to the top of my tip board. So watch this. Now, when it gets here to these My Interest, I'm not going to click anything else because I don't want anything else cluttering up my Genie Plus selections. I don't want that. I want it to show me height requirements because my toddler may or may not can get on rides, and that's very helpful information to know to avoid any meltdowns. So now it is pulling up the possibilities. We're going to skip that for now. Okay, so now when we go back over to our tip board, if you learn nothing else from this video, this is the big thing. You now have our first pick of Jungle Cruise is at the very top. Our second pick is Pirates of the Caribbean. And for me, I like to take it a step further. So I pull up here on my laptop, I travel with it, or you can use someone else in your party's phone, have them pull up a world clock for Orlando so you can see down to the camera's not going to pick that up. But so that you can see down to the millisecond of when to click that refresh and all the times pop up, because those even milliseconds matter between the difference of getting a good time earlier in the morning at an attraction like Jungle Cruise and Peter Pan or getting a 7 p.m. later in the day. So know that and go fast. All right, 40 seconds, you guys. If you don't start sweating about this, I don't know. To me, it gets hyped up. Like, I know this stuff and I know how to get it. Like yesterday I got us Guardians of the Galaxy and we were boarding group 35. So I felt really good about that, but it still makes me nervous every time. I don't care how many times I do this. I'm just like, what if I don't get it? All right, ready? 4, 3, 2, 1, pull down. Here we go. Loading, loading. Come on, internet. Come on, come on. Okay, we're tapping into phenomenal cosmic power. Just tell me my time. Okay, yes, I got 9:35 for Jungle Cruise. Yes, yay me. Okay. That one's really tough, you guys. Sometimes because even in the middle of confirming it, those times are going so fast. If someone else's internet is a little bit faster than yours, sometimes your time will get bumped a couple of hours. And so what you think you're doing isn't confirmed until it's confirmed, if that makes sense. So until you're all done and it's telling you your lightning lane is from blah, blah, blah to blah, 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 then you don't know anything yet. So don't get excited, wait until the end. But I got us 9:35, so that's really good. So once we do that, I will jump back in and share some more with you guys. And before I close out the app, I'm gonna go in and deselect Jungle Cruise really quick. That way it is off my priority list. So the next thing up will be my next priority selection. The next question is, when can you book your next lightning lane? So we just scanned in, as you saw. So now I am back on my phone and we are going to select the next one. As you can see up at the top, it says you can book another one now. As soon as you scan in at that touch point, you can do that. The next one we're going to do is Splash Mountain. And then this is a newer feature, but you can see there at the top of the screen right up there that it says when you can book is 11:41. So that's the end of my next lightning lane window. And so once that ends, I can book another one, or is like just like this one, as soon as I scan in, I can book another one.
Now time to get our next lightning.
Yes.
Lightning time.
For what? Just booked our next lightning lane for Pirates right after lunch, so we could do that and then head back to the room. Also wanted to share in today's experience that Mickey, the meet and greet to Mickey, has ran out of Genie Plus selections already, and it's only 11:09. So it's went faster than Jungle Cruise and Peter Pan today. So it's another one to add to your must-do list if you want to do it earlier. Pick that earlier in the day rather than later. Head up to the Mickey. Good job. Next, we're going to talk about the 120-minute rule that allows you to stack lightning lanes. So we are pretty much done here for that right now. We're going to head back, take a nap, let the girls rest, cool off in the AC for this hottest part of the day. And then that way they can last and hopefully do a little bit of fireworks tonight is the plan. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start getting reservations for when we come back. We plan to be back in the park around 5 o'clock. So at the moment, there is actually a time available for 4:50 for Peter Pan's flight. So that is the one that I'm going to stag now, and then in 120 minutes, so I'm going to set a timer, I will be able to actually book another lightning lane. So while the girls are napping, I'll be booking another lightning lane and being able to stack those. You can also see what time you're going to make your next lightning lane here at the very tip top of this screen, which is very handy, but I also suggest starting a timer for 155 minutes, something like that, and that way you can know exactly when to book your next one and you don't miss out on that window, because the faster you can book them, the more you can get into a single day. So if you have any more questions about stacking, I do plan to do an entire video about stacking and how we use that and what that looks like. But that's just a little overview and tutorial on how to use the 120-minute rule to have a very nice evening. Okay, so it's been 120 minutes, so now we're going to start doing what's called stacking. So I already am holding a Genie Plus reservation, like we talked about just a minute ago, for Peter Pan. So now I'm going to stack in a lightning lane for Space Mountain. So as you can see on the phone here, I actually have 2 lightning lanes starting at the same exact time. And some of you are probably like, why in the world would you do that? But I know we're going to be back at 5 o'clock, that we're going to leave here at 4 and be back. We'll be through bag check and everything. So as soon as our window opens for Peter Pan at 4:55, we're going to be able to ride that attraction, and then we'll be able to head straight over to Space Mountain. And then we want to do some things kind of in that area. We're wanting to do Buzz Lightyear, so that's my next game plan. Is I'm hoping to snag in 120 minutes, snag Buzz Lightyear, and so that is the plan for what we're gonna do. That's why I'm stacking these, is so we can just go from lightning lane to lightning lane and breeze through this evening really nicely, and then grab dinner and find out a perfect fireworks spot. Okay, brief break from the stacking section of this video to talk about regular unpaid Genie. It is now giving me the recommendation to, if I were at Magic Kingdom right now, which obviously I'm not, I'm sitting on my balcony, but if I were to go ride Haunted Mansion and the wait is a measly little 70 minutes, that's not a good recommendation. And so it does a lot of silly things like that. I don't know why they think it's a great itinerary planner. I don't know anyone who has benefited from this, but yeah, free Genie is not a good way to kind of strategically plan your Magic Kingdom days. I would definitely do that more yourself and kind of play that by ear. I have an entire video on how I plan our Disney days, which I can link it in the description box below for you guys to go check out after this one. But yeah, doing it that way and following the free Genie is just, yeah, we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about free Genie either. Okay, so this is why I want to do this as a vlog, is real life examples. So needless to say, I got a little notification, which I totally forgot to screen record the notification, so I apologize, but it was saying that Space Mountain was unavailable, which it was, and so it is still down right now. And so since it was unavailable, it wasn't my window yet, but it went ahead and gave it to me, so I'm guessing they're foreseeing that Space Mountain is going to be closed during my booking or during my ride time window, my lightning lane. So since it was, they gave me an additional lightning lane for that time. So at 4:55 we can go anywhere, but it also, this is where it gets a little weird, is it also let me book a different lightning lane. And so I now already have Buzz, and in theory I should still be having to wait another almost 45 minutes before I can book my next lightning lane. So very interesting. So now basically we have a lightning lane for 4:55 for Peter Pan. We have a 4:55 for anywhere now, other than a few. There's a little kind of drop down menu there that you can look at and kind of scroll through and see the ones that you can't go on, because there are some caveats, a few meet and greets, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan, things like that. So you can't use it on everything, but it can use almost anywhere. And then we also have now Buzz Lightyear, since it went ahead and let me book my window early. I don't know why that did that, but you know, I'm okay with it. I ended up with it. I'm not saying that's how it is. Your mileage may vary, but Genie is working in our favor, and we got a little extra pixie dust today, so I'm okay with that. Guys, big change from when I checked in last time. Our plans changed drastically. We decided to ditch Peter Pan because most of the stuff was on this side of the park and we just didn't feel like zigzagging. So we canceled that reservation, our lightning lane for Peter Pan. We went and did Buzz Lightyear, and then using the extra one they gave us with Space Mountain being down, we ended up going over and using that at Winnie the Pooh. So we were able to do that, and then it was time for me to make another lightning lane. So I did that for Dumbo, in which we've not got to do Dumbo because it has been a torrential downpour, which is I think the last thing that you saw other than maybe the girls playing in the Dumbo play area. We did make it to that, wet and all. So we went in there, played for a bit. Now we've used the restrooms over here near Storybook Circus. And now I've made another lightning lane for us to be able to go to Little Mermaid. So we're gonna pop over and do that. And then we'll see, there's not a lot else that we want to do. I don't know, we'll probably, if they're gonna do fireworks, I don't even know. We'll probably start getting some dinner. I'm starting to get hungry, but that's how that is going. And then I've had some of you ask about how rider swap works with lightning lanes. So you don't necessarily have to use rider swap. So obviously mom, so we'll say, this is a hypothetical, mom can stay back with the little one that can't ride. And then once dad goes on with big brother, big sister, whoever, that can actually ride the attraction, go on and do that, and then just switch places. Because you have that hour window, you're both going through the lightning lane anyway, it's not a big deal. And so there's no real point to stop and say anything. Now, if say you are 15 minutes away from the end of your lightning lane window, that's when I would stop and say something to the cast member and say, hey, we have a lightning lane. I'm just now going, but she's having to hang back. We're needing to do kind of a rider swap, and just make the comment. That way someone knows and they will be able to help you appropriately. They may just say, hey, you're good, go on, she'll be fine. And they'll just wave her through when it's time for her to go on with little one, or they'll scan your band and do all the things that they do to make sure you're good to go. But that is how that works. And then with lightning lane, for those of you that don't know, quick overview, whoever is going gets to take a secondary person with them, and it doesn't always have to be your child. So say yesterday we were over at Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot, so none of my girls can ride it. They're toddlers, they're not big enough. So what we were able to do is I hung back with the girls and my husband went on with the rest of our family and rode it then. But when he came back, he was able to ride it again with me. But you do have to just notate which person is riding with you. So they scanned my band and then they scanned my husband's band, since he would be my second rider going through the lightning lane. I hope that makes sense, but it's not just, most people explain it as your kid gets to ride twice, but that doesn't always mean that's the case. It can be anyone. So if you have a spouse that wants to do that and you and your spouse leave the kids with grandparents and you want to go back through and ride it with your partner, your person, and have fun that way, that was really great to know. So wanted to share that for anyone who didn't understand rider swap. But yeah, with lightning lanes, you kind of don't need it unless you're coming to that end. That way somebody doesn't say, oh, your time's over. Most of the time they won't do that, but sometimes you get some really strict cast members, so wanted to share that. Okay, and as if you haven't heard me ramble on and on and on about rider swap, whenever you do rider swap, or say you are having, your spouse is going through with the little one and you're having to hang back, use that time. Go to Dumbo if the one's riding Barnstormer, or if somebody's riding Space Mountain, go over and do People Mover. Do something to have some fun. Don't just sit there and just stare at each other or play on your phone. I mean, sometimes you may need to do that. Sometimes you need to like veg out and you need a minute, but make the most of it. Have some fun. Go through a gift shop. Do something to make it exciting and fun and a great way to spend the time. And that's going to do it for my guide to Genie Plus. If you have any further questions that I missed, be sure to leave them in the comment section below and I will try my best to get back to those. And if you want to see how I plan our Disney days, I'll link that video on the right side of the screen here. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.